previous video, we learned about carryover cash, which is that money that's left over from one fiscal year and we're going to bring it over into the next one. This video, we are going to learn how to project what the current fiscal year's income and expenses might end up being, and then use those numbers as a basis to create next year's budget. If you use QuickBooks, you can export a profit and loss report into Excel. Once in Excel, we'll let the program do all the calculations for us. It's pretty slick. Let me show you how to do that. Here is a profit and loss report that I exported from QuickBooks into Excel. Here's our departments: New Townsite Laundromat, Water and Sewer System, and the rest of this community's departments. First thing I want to do is add 2 new columns in here. And this one will be for what we anticipate this fiscal year to end with. And then the next column is where we will put the data for what we think the next year's budget will be. We can now use the power of Excel to do all of our calculations for us. Any formula begins with the equal sign, open parentheses, and then just click on this cell right here. That's going to grab all the data there. Divide it by 7 because we are 7 months into the fiscal year. That will give us an average of each month worth of income, and then we're going to multiply it by 12 since there are 12 months in the fiscal year. Hit enter, and we expect that we will get general fund income for the New Townsite Laundromat to end at $6,800. We can now copy this formula all the way down for the rest of the income and expenses. Hover with your mouse over there, and when it turns to that black plus sign, just click, drag it down, and release. So it has done that same calculation for the expenses, but it is important to keep thinking and not just defer to the data that's returned. Your entrance bill generally is not every month. That is usually once a year, maybe twice a year. So it would be silly for us to accept this value as the appropriate end of year entrance amount. It is probably $3,700. So we'll just delete that formula, put that in there. So for next year's budget, if you anticipate that your amounts are not going to change very much, you can maybe round up a little bit, say $3,800 for that entrance expense. Same thing for the income. Going back up here, we anticipate that use of the laundromat will be pretty steady, and then we will just say, oh, we think we're going to get, we'll round up maybe $50, make it a nice even number there, $6,900. Let me show you a cool trick here where you can insert a note, insert comment, and you can type anything you want in here. Happy birthday, or use is expected to stay the same. And then when you click out, that note kind of goes away, but with that red triangle, it lets you know that there is something hidden in there. You just hover right there, and that note pops back up. Those notes are very useful for when you're going to make a presentation to the council, because it's very hard to remember how you came up with all of these dollar amounts. And when somebody asks, you can just hover there and be like, oh, hey, that's why I did that. So you can see that by using Excel, these calculations are done extremely quickly and accurately. Then when you go through and estimate what next year's budget will be, you've already got a lot of historical data to pull from. All you have to do is repeat those steps for the remaining departments, inserting a couple of new columns. You can even copy and paste that data. You can even copy and paste those formulas. And when you do that, the formula corresponds to the correct cell. Hit enter. If you're ever in a cell like this, you need to hit the enter key. And do that same thing. Hover plus mark, whee, all the way down, release. There you go. Pretty slick, eh? Okay, back to my face. I hope that Excel tutorial was helpful. I like to work smarter and not harder. When you're going through your various departments and estimating that income and expenses, remember that some of that income will come from outside sources, such as community revenue sharing, payment in lieu of taxes, shared fish taxes. Those amounts can change greatly from year to year. Your best option? Contact the funding provider directly to get a heads up on how much money you expect to get. 4 good tips to keep in mind when you're doing this. First, is the information accurate and reliable? Second, use worksheets to show your calculations. This will be very helpful when you're giving a presentation to the council. Third, keep asking yourself, is this reasonable? And fourth, do not overestimate your income. Remember, we have the City Budget Manual available on our website for you to download, and you're always welcome to call one of your local government specialists. We're here to help you out.